Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have the Minister of Interior visit the region of Tajura for a contact visit. For the international scene, Africa cases of infections exceed 5.63 million according to the CDC Africa. Welcome to our newsroom. The Minister of Interior, Said Nuh Hassan, has visited the region of Tajura as part of his contact tower. He was welcomed on his arrival by the prefect of the region, Mr. Hassan Dabali Ahmed, and the president of the regional council, Umar Hussein Umar. The Minister of Interior, Said Nuh Hassan, received in audience the local elected officials, members of the deconcentrated administration, representatives of civil society, and elders of the region. He reviewed with them the state of progress of the grievances previously submitted to His Excellency the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh. The prefect of the Tajura region, Hassan Dabali Ahmed, has thanked the ministers for the Minister of Interior for his visit to the region of Tajura and explained that they are at his disposal for the conduct of the work in the best condition. For his part, the Minister of Interior, Said Nuh Hassan, thanked the people of Tajura for the warm welcome they gave him and his delegation. He reviewed the state of progress of the grievances previously submitted to His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh. The Minister of City, Urbanism, Housing, Amina Abdi Aden, in a statement made to the national press, is mentioning the salient points that were retained during yesterday's meeting that the Head of State, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, chaired. Minister Amina Abdi Aden continued her statement while highlighting the joint actions that will be undertaken from now. The second point that was discussed refers to the road. So when a family wants to connect to drinking water networks and EDD want to connect a family with electricity, what we are often see are roads that are disconnected and this deteriorated all the road infrastructure. So how to remedy this by cooperating better, by setting up land reservations, and how to prevent that the roads that are being worked on in Balbala. And tomorrow the family will ask for connections to Onyad, and so how to avoid that and put in place a solution. In general, what was discussed was how to improve the living conditions. By improving the living condition, we also improve the health. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Robil Abdillah, visited the Sheikh Hospital in Balbala as part of his towers of contact with the country's reference health structure. The Minister of Health was welcomed by the Director General, Mr. Musa Ibrahim Suge, and the entire staff of the hospital. The Minister of Health saw firsthand the crucial role played by this structure in draining a large daily number of users from the municipality of Balbala, the most populous of the capital. The Shoko Hospital is called to increase the capacity and quality in the reception and in the medical care in order to meet the growing demand for specialized care of Djiboutians. During his visit, the Minister of Health also discussed with the staff of Sheikho Hospital to listen to the difficulties encountered and hear their suggestions. The Minister of Women and Family, Muna Usman Aden, received this morning in the meeting room of the ministry representatives of the Arab NGO resident in Djibouti. These NGOs were composed at the World Assembly of Muslim Youth, the International Islamic Relief Organization, the African Relief Committee, Al-Rahma, the Association for Humanitarian Access for Partnership and Development, the Sanabil Al-Khair Association, and finally, Al-Da'wa Al-Islamiyya Association. The partners first congratulated the minister on her appointment as a head of this ministerial department and also wished her every success in her future undertaking. The Minister of Women and Family, Muna Usman Aden, received also in his office the representative of the European Union delegation to IGAD in Djibouti, Aidan O'Hara. This contact visit is also an opportunity to exchange on the different ongoing programs and collaboration perspectives, and in particular on the project of support to empowerment of women and the protections of women and girls' rights. The People's Palace has hosted today a workshop on the development of the strategic planning framework organized by the Ministry of Labor in charges of formalization and social protection. The workshop was chaired by the Minister of Labor in charges of formalization and social protection, Mr. Isman Ibrahim Roble, and was attended by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Labor in charges of formalization and social protection, Abdallah Ali Mohammed, the Director General of INAP, Sharmake Idris Ali, the General Director of NFIP, Mahmoud Umar Gele, the Inspector General of Labor and Social Laws, Mr. Abdi Farah Idle, the national executive experts of the various institutions in the process of developing the strategic planning framework in accordance with the common vision of the national development plan and based on the institutional anchoring of the national employment policy. For his part, the Minister of Labor in charges of formalization and social protection, Isman Ibrahim Roble, emphasized that this plan benefits from a positive context of strengthening of the reforms carried out by the government to strengthen the effectiveness, efficiency, and relevance of the operational activity of the ministerial department so as to ensure an optimal implementation of the Sustainable Development Objectives by 2035. The Minister of Trade and Tourism received the Director of the Turkish International Cooperation Agency, TICA, in his offices on Monday, 5 July 2021. Emphasis was placed on the importance of jointly consolidating the fraternal relations between our two brotherly countries. In addition, the discussion is focused on, among other things, on the development of tourism and craft. The Minister Delegate in charges of decentralization, Qasim Harun Ali, received on July 4 in his office the visit of the Ambassador of the European Union to Djibouti, His Excellency Aidan O'Hara, for the purpose of making contact. During this meeting, after stressing that decentralization is the flagship of the government's program initiated by the head of state, Ismail Omar Gele, the minister did not fail to mention the importance of decentralization. The minister did not fail to underline the privileged partnership relationship that exists between the Republic of Djibouti and the European Union in the file of decentralization, as evidenced by the ongoing program of support to decentralization and local initiative, ADIL. the second stage of the visit of the Ethiopian delegation after the first conference on the promotions of livestock exports, which opened yesterday in Campus Key. The delegation went to the Dorale multipurpose, known by its acronym DMP, to take a guided tours of the livestock port. The DMP with this cattle port adds another strings to its bow. This jewel also includes different structures adapted to the export of sheep, cattle, goat, and camels. The delegation was interested.
It's not only this one. I can label Djibouti and Ethiopia as a relationship like blood and vessel relationship, because blood without vessel, vessel without blood is of no use. And so as a Finfinne Chamber and as Oro Djibouti Business Integration Committee co-chairman, we are happy and ready to tackle every problem. So we are going to challenge the challenge. So things come to track, and the national interest of Djibouti and Ethiopia will be on board, and I'm sure, I'm confident we can make it real.
The Karmakaran Association, faithful to its humanitarian vocations, visited the inhabitants of the sub-prefecture of Yoboki to organize a distribution of food for the men and livestock of the locality of Dagiru. A food aid consisting of 14 bags of 16 kilograms of corn for the human consumption and 18 bags of food for their herds were handed over to the local authorities and customary leaders of this locality. The acting president and Secretary General of the association, Abdullah Muhammad Utban, handed over this important food aid to Mr. Musa Hamudu Musa, a local elected official and an elder of the Dagiru locality, and to Ms. Asiya, the head of Yoboki Women's Group, in order to improve the means of subsistences of the rural population affected by the heat wave. We regret to announce the death of the late Isnino Hufane Banjir yesterday morning in Djibouti. The deceased was 18-year-old and leaves behind many children. The deceased was the maternal aunt of our sisters Nema Geddi Idris. We send our sincere condolences to the family, relatives, and friends of the deceased. May God rest in peace, and may Allah, the most merciful, accept her in his eternal paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. For the international scene, the number of confirmed cases of the new coronavirus infections in Africa reached 5,613,700. On Sundays, the African Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC Africa, announced the 55-member African Union Health Agency said that the death toll from COVID-19 was 145,000, while 4,800,000 patients across the continent have recovered from the disease. On Saturday, South Africa became the first African country to cross the 2 million confirmed case threshold, recording the highest number of new coronavirus infections in Africa at 2 million, while Morocco reported 533,000 cases of Sunday midday. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.